Hey, how y'all doing? 100 videos in 100 days. Dan Land Pro here, episode 87. What we doing is we going over iMovie basic color balance. And these are just a few tools to help you with your footage. Sometimes your footage is flat, or we shot it what you call raw, where it's coming right out the camera. So whatever the lighting was at, whatever the white balance was, that's what's pretty much going to be in your footage. Sometimes you can shoot it 2 different times a day and your footage don't match up. It's just a bunch of different reasons. You might use 2 different cameras, 2 different type of cameras, and your footage don't match up. But anyway, we're just going to show you some basic stuff in iMovies on how to correct that. It's real quick, especially when you're doing shorts. So here we go. Stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is bring some footage into our iMovie package. And as you can see, I got a clip on my cell phone here. And what we're going to do is show you how, when I click on that clip, if you go up here to the top right, you'll see this first circle say color balance. This is where you would go to do your color balance. Now, let's click on color balance and see what happens. When I click on here, I get auto. So if we click auto, sometimes you see how I got a little warmer color in my face. And if you want to click something off again, just click it again. And you see it got a little slight saturation change in that color as far as when I click auto again. See, there it is. So you'll see that slight change in saturation. Then next to that, we have match color. Now match color we went over, so if I wanted to change 2 separate clips, I would have a reference clip and then I would have a current clip, and depending on which clip I want to change, I would select that clip and then find a spot like in this clip, and it would change that clip to pretty much match them up, and that would give me what I wanted. But we're not doing match clips now. We're showing you what's in the color balance. So white balance is the same thing. As far as if you look over here, now I can take my iTool and find some white in my particular footage. So when we click that, you'll see it's not much of a change. So we got pretty good white balance there. So we could just check that or X out of it. Now the next thing is skin tone. And a lot of times we can come right here in skin tone. You see where it says select a color on the video frame using the eyedropper. So you can use the eyedropper just like in white balance. Now let's see if we can get a change. So once I clicked on there, so we didn't get a really good change. So I'm gonna hit that X, and then we're gonna come back to skin tone. Let's try another spot. See, we're getting a reddish look. So that's not what we want. So we can stay where we are, or we can go with the reddish look and then go into our color correction. Remember what I said about color correction or color grading compared to color balance. Those are 2 different processes. So in this case, we're gonna show you the difference between color balance and color correction. So we're gonna stick with that particular, we're not gonna go with that skin tone, we're gonna go with our original footage. Now let's go into color correction. Now you see these tools up here? So if you just swipe over the tool, it'll usually tell you what it is. Adjust shadows, so you'll see if I want to make it lighter, I want to make it darker. I can do that, and you see mostly everything is adjusting with it. But if you swipe over everything, like if I swipe over here to tell you adjust contrast, so I can raise or lower my contrast. So if I was looking for a more cinematic look, I could come right here and play with that. And then next to the contrast is adjust brightness to make the clip lighter or darker. So I can make that clip lighter or darker. And a lot of them get pretty much what seems to be the same effect, but some deal with shadows, some deal with highlights, different things like that. So if we swipe over this one, you see contrast increase or decrease, the difference between light and dark areas. So that's just areas instead of the actual whole clip. Like this one was lighter or darker, or brightness to lighter or darker. And this one is areas, or increase, decrease, the difference between light and dark areas. Now this one here is pretty much highlights to make bright areas lighter or darker. So see, a lot of these do the same things. It depends on what you're looking for. Now if we go over here to the next one and swipe over this, you see it's saturation. So if I want to take a little color out, see how it's saturated? I can go all the way black and white. Then I can come back over there. If I was looking for a black and white look, I can come back over there. So you see how that had a reddish look to it? Now I can come over here and I can give it a cooler look and take some of the red out. So whereas I didn't use saturation to take the red out because I want to keep some color, I used over here, I adjusted my temperature. See, my temperature can be hot or warm or cold. So cold is like wintertime, outside, etc., etc. Warm is like summertime, outside, etc., etc. So that warm look or that wintry look. So it depends on what type of footage that you're looking for and what you're trying to show. And that's pretty much how you color correct in iMovie. A lot of times I might use 3 different programs to color correct or color balance. So I might come out of one program, come in here and get something that I want because it's simpler or easier or give me the type of grade I want. And then I might take it into Premiere. I might take it into whatever my favorite program is to do a particular task. And then they also have filters that you can put. Sometimes you want to put a little noise on your footage, which will give you a more cinematic look. You want to put the black bars in. So it's a number of things you can do, but the main thing is to try to have it where all of your footage pretty much match up or you got the color you want. So remember, color balance and color correction is 2 different processes. So sometimes we get them confused and we use the same terminology for both processes. Okay, so that's it. It's real simple. As you can see, it's real easy to color balance in iMovie. Now, don't get color balance and color grading confused. They're different processes. So it's a lot of different processes that you can use to color correct and get your footage right where you want it. Sometimes it's tedious, it's time consuming depending on the project. Now, as far as YouTube content creation and some of those type of productions, it's pretty easy to color balance or color grade. But when you get into more sophisticated projects where you're doing maybe short movies 30 minutes long, or you're doing, say, a safety movie, or you're doing something for corporation and everything much pretty has to be set, then you want to be a little bit more in depth as far as your color correction. You want to try to get everything as close and as balanced as possible. Hey, that's pretty much it. YouTube.com, Webmaster Dan or Dan Land Pro, 100 videos in 100 days. Hit that subscribe and the like button. We're almost done here. Episode 87. All right, peace.